Hi, this is Kim Watson, VC Trader. Welcome to an exclusive review of the key economic news events which are being released in the coming week. Okay, so the big story is really Draghi speaking at least twice this week. He'll be speaking at or testifying, should I say, before the Committee of Economic and Monetary Affairs Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Not tradable as such. We could see some volatility throughout this news event. And then we've got the UK and US consumer price index. I say inflation reports, but inflation reports, but just the monthly figures. We've then got the UK and US central banks minutes. So let's just have a look through the different events. So this morning, Draghi speaking before the Committee of Economic and Monetary Affairs at 2 o'clock. Tuesday, we've got the Australian RBA Governor Stephen speaking at 8:25. This is at a Development Australia annual dinner, but it could still create some volatility as he gives his opinions on growth, etc. Then later at 9:30 we've got the UK Consumer Price Index figures, which last month I think we saw around about a 35 pip move, following a surprise of 0.2%. It's expected it's going to come in low again, but any sort of positive surprises or negative surprises could see the pound being bought or sold quite substantially around about that time. Certainly some volatility. Later in the morning we've got the German ZEW economic sentiment. This is created, even though we've seen some very low figures of late, created very little way of volatility. Wednesday 19th we got the Japanese interest rate decision, etc. Now we've already had, last time they made changes. Whether they'll do anything this time is quite unlikely. We've got no exact time of when that was. It's about 4:45 in the morning last time. It may be about that sort of similar time that we'll see some sort of figures coming out, but certainly some volatility around that period which may set up for the day. Later we've got the Bank of England minutes at 9:30. These in themselves, people will be again looking at the voting and looking for the comments that are coming through. The voting is most key, of course, to whether or not members are still pushing for an interest rate increase sooner rather than later. The current voting is 7-2, and it's whether it will change it up or down any. Then later on in the afternoon we've got the US FOMC minutes, and again we've been seeing quite hawkish remarks on the initial interest rate statement, followed by dovish remarks in the minutes. Now it'll be interesting to see how the minutes follow through this time with the hawkish remarks we saw last time on the recent interest rate decision, whether they'll be followed through and seen clearly in the minutes themselves. Okay, following into Thursday the 20th, we got the European, French and German manufacturing and services PMI figures coming out at 8 and 8:30 respectively. Now these can create a bit of volatility in the mornings, and possibly set the day up in terms of a direction. But they're renowned for not giving much in the way of movement. So whilst I'm very much aware they're there, not looking to trade from those. Oops, sorry. Later in the morning we've got the UK retail sales. Again, this figure is just sort of not really taken us anywhere of late, and we so often see very small moves coming from it. So not interested in, or not too worried about it, but there may be some volatility around it. And then later we got the US core inflation figure. Again, with the US inflation figures, they haven't been generating much in the past. We're starting to see a bit more volatility around them again as they become, or the likelihood of interest rate decisions come closer. I say decisions come closer, but a decision to increase interest rates becomes closer. The inflation figure may have a little bit more emphasis on it, particularly as we've seen effectively sort of deflationary pressures coming through. Then Friday we got Draghi speaking at the European Banking Congress, Reshaping Europe, at 8 o'clock in the morning, so that may just start Friday off with a bang. There are some less significant data events coming out during the week, namely, I just wanted to run through a couple here I've got noted. We have one of the FOMC members speaking on Tuesday evening, around about 6:30 p.m. UK time, which could always create a bit of volatility later in the day there. Also, we've got building permits on Wednesday, US building permits. These figures are always highlighted in red on a lot of these diaries and calendars, but they've given very little in the way of significant movement of late or for some time now. They may start again, like the inflation figures, they may start picking up. Outside our sort of area, we got the HSBC flash manufacturing figures coming in for China, which may push harder on towards the Aussie dollar and the Japanese yen. So those sort of figures may affect them at 1:45 on Thursday morning. They don't seem to have a massive impact immediately on the pound or the euro. Following on from that, normal US unemployment claims on Thursday afternoon at 1:30, and Canadian core inflation at 1:30 on Friday, but lowish moves on that. Okay, that shapes up the week. I hope you have a great one. Bye for now.